Here we go now. Boy, here we go now. Here we go now. Check, mic check. Oh yeah, you might want to silence your phone. Mark, can you hear us? Can you hear us, Mark? Mark McKeever, YouTube live, channel surprise. We're going to give folks time to tune in.
He's going live.
Oh, yes! You got a notification.
I got it.
You're going to come this way.
Knocking my soda
Here
over.
we go. All right. Mark says, yep, we can hear us. Mark McKeever, that is Supreme Leader Mark McKeever. He gets his own special tier. I'm going to get on the phone here because I can't read that. Oh, there's another patron, Matt C. All right, say something. See if the guys can hear you.
Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. No?
We can't see your thumbs up. You can see ours.
Random Andy's channel. Yes, they can hear you. That is awesome. So I'm going to actually be looking down here for the comments because the computer is so far away. Hey, y'all go check out. I'm going to do a little free advertisement here. You got to turn it down. We're going to get some feedback. You're going to have to go check out Jeremy Branch's channel over at Movies Are Terrible. He's got these Fly Crow t-shirts.
Yeah, I was noticing that earlier. That's awesome.
Yeah, Terrible Apparel, man. He's got it going on for Halloween coming up. He's a little to your right. A little to your right. There we go. Jason, a little to your. There we go. Now everyone's centered.
Yes.
We're not social distancing, though.
We're not social distancing. Let's see. We've all had the COVID and survived.
I've had it 3 times now.
3 times.
Had a Corona? Oh, well, no.
Wrong Corona.
Wrong Corona.
Is this a Terminator viewing party? Man.
Is it?
Is it?
No, it's not.
No.
So we've got some folks to shout out to. We got Supreme Leader Mark McKeever. We got Matt C in the house. We got Random Andy in the house with the Random Fandom. in Comic Books, Mr. Darth Billiam himself.
Still call him Billiam?
Yeah, Darth Billiam. I haven't come up with a better nickname, man. It's stuck. Anthony, YouTube fan in the house. Hi, guys. Happy 2,000 subs. Been thinking of you while watching Star Wars Visions. I haven't watched it yet. We're going to. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been holding out.
Yeah.
I almost caved, and I'm like, whoa. I've
only watched the first episode, so just to see.
I like the color combination with the t-shirts. What?
What?
You don't hurt yourself.
Color combinations? I guess. Okay, cool. All right.
Oh.
There we go. So I was at work today and called this dude and was like, oh my goodness, man, I'm getting so many comments on Goblet of Fire. I was honestly concerned that the video being so long, like 53 minutes, I edited out like 45 minutes of our post discussion, like a whole lot of that.
Wow.
I mean, you guys remember we had a lot to talk about.
I didn't think we had gone that long with it.
Dude, we were here late that night. So when I was actually making the video, I was like, oh my goodness, like I've got to pare this down. For the first time ever, I think the post discussion and the pre-discussion was like actually longer when you looked at it on Premiere Pro than the video clip. And I was going, oh my goodness.
Wow.
So there's a lot of things that people are commenting on saying, hey, you guys should have mentioned this, or did you mention this, or how you were wrong about this? Did you talk to John about this? Let Jason know that. I mean, there's a whole lot of things. And rather than me just make a whole new video going back and having to re-edit, because golly, Goblet of Fire took a long time to edit. I figured we go live, and surprise, as I was getting ready to go live tonight, I turned on my YouTube analytics and it said 2,000 subscribers.
Yes.
2,000.
One of them's you.
Actually, they're all them.
Yeah. TPNG. Well done, guys. Happy for you. Well, thank you for that. So here's the thing that, hang on a second. I got a direct message here from Anthony. Translation, may the force be with you always. How did I not get that, man? I got Harry Potter on the head. I think I just lost 10 cool points, Anthony. Yeah. I was looking at the always. Cat Webb. Oh my goodness. Cat Webb's in the chat. Kat is one of our VIP, like super contributors. Like she'll go through the video as she's watching and comment, and then 5 more minutes, watch something else and comment. And her and Eric Purse, you can tell like they're watching the video as they're commenting. It's pretty darn cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So Have you recovered yet from Goblet of Fire?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Jason? Well, you enjoyed it.
I liked it. Yes.
See yourself out.
What? Yeah, okay. But no, it's and actually going back and watching it again with my family.
You watched it twice.
Yeah, I did. I definitely can see now why you guys were so upset.
Yeah.
Because watching it is like, this makes no sense. And
Yeah.
I think like what you said was, it just seems so scattered.
It was very
Yeah,
scattered.
I was like,
oh man.
So
Yeah, it was scattered to the point of it was not pleasant to watch.
I agree.
And that was a huge complaint.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay. You're going to have to read the book at some point. So, but you said you've recovered. You're ready to move on.
I'm ready to move on.
We actually have not watched Order of Phoenix, so no spoilers for Phoenix in the chat, please. Like none, because these guys have not seen it.
Someone had to go on vacation.
Yeah, I needed a vacation.
And then I had to work out of town. So
Yeah, absolutely. So Wednesday night, right?
Wednesday night.
So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So 4 nights. 4 nights we're going to be sitting down and watching Order of the Phoenix. Now, one of the things that a lot of folks brought up that they, I'm going to start off with the corrections because, it's been a long time since I read the books. I remember most of it correctly, but man, that movie threw me off. Beauxbaton's Academy with Madame Maxine and Durmstrang Academy with Igor Karkaroff. They are not all girls and all boys academies.
Okay.
In the book, they were co-ed. There was both boys and girls there from each school.
Okay.
It just so happened that Victor Crumb was the champion for Durmstrang and Fleur Delacour was a champion for Beauxbaton's. I'd completely forgotten that they were co-ed, which makes sense because those magical schools are from those countries. So if Beauxbaton's is the only magical school in France and is all female, that means there's no male wizards.
Yeah.
That was pointed out to me. I totally messed that one up. My apology.
You're forgiven.
Okay, thank you. Get that cat wand out and sprinkle some catnip here.
Some fluff on it.
So right here we got I'm going to butcher this. Kecleon, or Griffin. I will definitely support the statement that the Goblet of Fire book is one of the best from the series and agree that the movie was lackluster. Which you guys haven't read the books. And your wife, hasn't she read the books now?
She is going through the book. She just finished Half-Blood Prince last night.
Oh,
so.
Button that up.
Mm-hmm.
Nerdy Newfie's in the chat. Nerdy Newfie's been around since the Star Wars. So Nerdy Newfie, hey man, thanks for coming by. So yeah, Random Andy says he likes learning more about Harry Potter. I actually found out through looking at the comments on the reactions that a lot of folks actually hadn't read the books. Like they're like, I never Die at A Life to Die For. Been friends with her for a long time. She didn't know anything about the Marauders map. And she said, oh my goodness, it had so much depth to the story talking about, Prisoner of Azkaban. But
I still don't understand why they didn't put that in the movie.
It would have taken 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
1 minite.
Yeah.
And I was incorrect. Also, the other thing I was incorrect about was I told you that Sirius Black had told Harry about the Accio spell. Sirius Black was in the process of trying to tell Harry to use a conjunctivitis curse on the dragons, which is like give them pink eye.
Mm-hmm.
Because eyes are the weak spots of the dragons. And I think that's what Cedric did. And he heard Ron coming, didn't know it was Ron, and he popped out of the fireplace. So that conversation never finished. And it was Moody that kind of hinted, play to your strengths. So I was wrong about that.
You're not a wand.
Yeah. Allowed a wand. Oh, Griffin, Mr. Griffin says, just pronounce it like Kecleon, or just call me Griffin. We'll call you Griffin.
That's a lot easier.
Variation IC. Oh my goodness, he's on time for the live stream. Yeah, Variation's been really participating in the discussions lately for Goblet of Fire. So that's in all of Harry Potter's, matter of fact. So I am going to bring up, some of the things we're going to talk about tonight. We did talk about, they just got edited out of the video, but going back and watching that, John, you were really on edge about Neville Longbottom. Like you were like, man, something's going on in that kid's head.
After Moody, was torturing the bug and
yeah.
Oh yeah, I was trying to remember exactly what you were talking to. Yes, that scene stood out to me because he left class after that, and he seemed unconsolable.
Yeah,
something had gone in his head.
Well,
So
there's a little detail that you might have missed, and we did discuss before, but a little detail you might have missed in the dungeon flashback scene because you were trying to figure out who the guy was in the cage. It was Igor Karkaroff, which we discussed later on.
right.
But when he told on Barty Crouch Jr. and he snitched him out, he says that he personally is responsible for the torture and performing the Cruciatus curse on a wizard. I can't even remember his first name now, but Longbottom, Neville's dad.
Oh,
Barty Crouch and another witch who we will meet later in the next movie tortured Neville's parents into insanity. They're not dead. And what you will find out in the books is that Neville, he goes to, I want to say it's, can't remember the name of the hospital. Anybody, any of the fans out there in the chat can remember the name of the hospital. I want to say it's Mungo's house of magical malady, something like that. I can't remember. Hey, life is great. Hufflepuff here. See, I'm telling you, man, Hufflepuff love everywhere. I don't have any Slytherin love popping out. Any Slytherin love. St. Mungo's. Thank you. Cackleon's on it. St. Mungo's. It's in matter of fact that glass, if I'm not mistaken, in the movie, that stained glass that Neville's staring at, leaning in front of, is St. Mungo. And it's for the people that the magical mental disorders that people have, like from going nuts about doing things with magic. Well, his parents are there, and they basically have no memory of their son.
oh
And
wow.
kind of like an Alzheimer's thing. That's why Neville is raised by his grandmother that you hear about in Prisoner of Azkaban. When Lupin's like, hey, your grandmother's clothes, picture Snape in your grandmother's clothes. So, that's why Neville would know what the Cruciatus curse is. And that's really why he is so torn up. And that is such an integral part of the story that really just kind of got glanced over and really didn't do Neville justice to the depth of his character, I should say. But yeah, so that was one of the things that, the fans wanted us to talk about. Yeah, Mark McKeever, I'm just here for the broads. They showing up soon? No, there's a few. There's a few in the chat. And if Paula C is tuning in at all, we do have the we got pizza and we got Dr. Pepper. So that was on Paula C.
Thank you, Paula.
Thank you, Paula.
Yeah. Now, one of the other things they wanted to talk about was the house elves. We didn't do much talking on the house elves in the video, but we did in the reaction. So Hermione actually in the book has this Society for the Protection of Elvish Welfare, SPEW, SPEW.
What a name.
Yeah, what a name. And Ron keeps trying to call it SPEW, and she's like, it's not SPEW, it's the Society for the Protection of Elvish Welfare. She's even got like buttons and pins that she makes for everyone to wear.
They say spew on them.
Yeah, they do. They say SPEW on them. It's a wonderful little side story. But the reason being is that in the beginning of the movie, when the Ministry shows up, when they do the Mos Moldra and they cast a dark mark up in the sky over the Quidditch match, what's happening is they haven't seen that since Voldemort was vanquished and the Death Eaters disbanded. Well, we find out that there's a house elf laying there named Winky who belongs to Barty Crouch Sr. And Winky is holding a wand, and elves are not allowed to have wands in the wizarding world. It's a very elves are slaves. There's no way around it. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible thing in the wizarding world that needs to be addressed, and it does get addressed in that book, but not in the movie. And they see Winky with the wand, and she gets accused of casting the dark mark. Well, what we don't find out until later that the big reveal is that Barty Crouch Jr., who we see in the very beginning of the movie, you don't see him through the entire book. He doesn't get revealed until you find out that Mad-Eye Moody's not Mad-Eye Moody. But they let that slip right from the get-go. Right from the get-go, they're like, oh, here's the villain. And you kind of know something's up with Mad-Eye Moody because he's constantly watching Harry and acting weird and doing the whole little, which that was never in the book. But Winky gets thrown out of her house because Barty Crouch, Heart of Stone, sends his own son to Azkaban, also fires his house elf. She finds a place to live at Hogwarts, and she's constantly getting drunk on butterbeer. And And Dobby's trying to help her out and get her cleaned up. And Dobby keeps talking to Harry. He's got these mismatched socks on. It's all a pretty cool side story. And it's because of their helping of the house elves that later on in the end of the story that you see the house elves, who are very powerful actually with magic, they actually side on the side of good with the wizards against Voldemort. But anyway, so let me check in with the chats here. So yeah, Spew. I was so annoyed because the elves like to work. Dr. Pepper is the devil's drink. Where's he? What? Mark McKeever?
What, bro? What?
I will. Mark McKeever doesn't like Dr. Pepper. I will.
I'm out.
Force.
Look, he left. Good job, Mark.
Oh, no, he's back. No.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot my Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. Dr. Pepper's awesome. Yeah, snap that thing. Oh, Dr. Pepper.
Life is great.
Life is great. Doesn't like Dr. Pepper either. Well, life is great. You're okay because I don't know you personally yet. So I mean, I don't consider us like that tight. So you're allowed to not like Dr. Pepper, but that is a betrayal from Mark McKeever. I mean, he's my mod, and I find out he doesn't like. He might like kick you out of the chat because you don't like Dr. Pepper. Yeah,
dude, I remember the first time we hung out. You came over to my house, pulled in the driveway. I get in the car, and you're like, "Hey, bro, I brought you a Dr. Pepper." And that's when I knew. I was like, "This is my new best friend right here. Love this guy."
Oh man. Oh goodness me. Oh, I got to get some more of these chats. Really quick too. I don't know if he's in the chat, but I do need to. We got 2 new patrons on Patreon.
Two
Since we did the shout outs. Yeah. We've got Travis Peters, an Imperial officer. Hello, Travis.
Hey,
Hey,
Travis.
Make sure in the next video we do the whole little boo Patreon shout.
Yeah, definitely.
Patreon shout out. We'll do all that and get your name in the credits there. And we've also got Joshua Hyatt, another Imperial officer.
Nice. Thanks, Joshua.
And we may as well go ahead and say hi and welcome to the family.
Welcome.
Make sure, hey, and if you are a patron on Patreon, make sure that you, if you're comfortable doing so, put your address in the Patreon stuff, because I do have like cards and welcome gifts and cool little channel merch and things like that to send out. And for the guys that did want to participate in the channel merch thing that we did back when we first hit the 100, Mark McKeever knows what we're talking about. That stuff arrived today, so I will be shipping that out this week. So those of you who are getting that, be looking for it in the mail.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So there's some little shout outs. Now back to the comments. So here we go. Which one's your favorite one so far?
Which movie?
Yeah.
Probably still Prisoner of Azkaban. That was
really?
Yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah. You still liking Ron, even though, and we got to talk about Ron. That was one of the other comments.
Yes. Even though I understand where Ron was coming from in Goblet of Fire, where he was like, just kind of acting kind of like a jerk. He did redeem himself by telling Harry about the dragon, and even though he told no one, that was funny. He's like, I said that somebody told me blah blah about, and it's like he goes, I didn't. They didn't actually tell me that, and Harry's like, how was I supposed to know that?
Yeah.
And Ron's probably still one of my favorite characters.
All right, let me check in on the chats before we go read this thing. All right. Dr. Pepper cream soda. Oh, we're working on getting the what is it? The chocolate pepper?
Chocolate, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get those soon.
We're gonna try that.
That
Patrick Stewart beanie. I don't. Do I have beanies? Do I have to?
Dude, you need to get beanies.
Beanie out there.
It's gonna start getting cold around here.
Oh, hey! Speaking of Patrick McCabe is in the chat. Patrick McCabe is over from Team Terrible. Patrick, hey man, Team Terrible, dude. Got the shirt. Team Terrible apparel. That came from Jeremy Branch. So go check that out. Got the new Crow shirt. Yeah, everyone on there's like, oh God, Patrick's like freaking hyper.
You kind of put your crotch in John's face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sirius is one of my favorite characters. Yes, life is great. I love Sirius Black. All right, so here we go. Toodleskay. You remember back when
what?
Toodleskay, I think that's how we pronounce it. He had, I think, the best explanation for Ron Weasley. He says, keep in mind that Ron has 5 older brothers who are all great at something. You got was it Charlie with the Dragons, Percy's head boy, all of them are great at something. And he's always been overshadowed. He's the youngest brother. There's a lot of Weasleys. He already has an inferiority complex. Then he becomes best friends with Harry Potter, the most famous kid in their world, the wizarding world. And he usually, up to this point, he has handled Harry's fame pretty well. Like you said, he knows his place. He's the sidekick. He's the good friend of the famous kid. He's cool with it. But Harry's name coming out of the goblet was just the last straw, because in the book, him and Harry say it would both be great if they had a shot of putting their name in the goblet. And of course, you see the twins try it and it doesn't work. And then Harry's name pops out. Well, everybody thinks that Harry cheated. They think that Harry found a way to get his name in the goblet because Harry wants attention because he's famous. And Ron felt like, man, here we go, overshadowed again. He's 14 years old. And he had this moment of, man, my best friend just totally betrayed me and he's keeping secrets from me. Well, he figures out pretty darn quick that that's not the case. So we do have to give Ron credit. Yeah, he's not the Ron that we're used to, but he does come around.
And that does make perfect sense.
Yeah, makes sense. So Toodleskay, good shout out there. All right, so gonna move on to where's it at?
Mark McKeever says, Patrick, sounds like you've read the books more than once.
Oh, yes. So there's much fewer Harry Potter books than there are Star Wars books. So, Star Wars books, like, they just keep going. Kathleen Kennedy says, no source material, but shelves of books. Harry Potter, that's it. Right there. There's all the books. Right there. Just boop, that's it.
There's
so you can
7?
you can read those a whole lot more. Waiting for... Yeah, Neville's reaction. And
now that you've explained that makes a lot of sense why Neville was just...
Oh, here's a really cool Gee Whiz file fact for you. What's this? Cackleon says, I've read the whole series way too many times. I've even read the series backwards once. That's going to be interesting.
Wow, backwards.
All right, so Caroline Phoenix Me says, fact for this one. At first, the actor who plays Crumb's friend, it was like a curly-headed black kid with a little beard, kind of GQ-looking kid. He was the one that was cast to play Crumb. But for whatever reason, they changed their mind and they went with the kind of stockier, shaved head dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
The 27-year-old.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So TPNG, like the whole huffing and puffing like a Hufflepuffer. He said he was digging that. Changes the movie. Most of them really weird and unnecessary. Don't forget Mr. Longbottom. Love the video. I am trying to... No explanation. There was an explanation. Got it. I think I hit on the big things that they wanted to talk about, but something that we do need to look at is in the beginning, the Quidditch match. We don't get to see the Quidditch match. They start it and then it's game over. There's a whole side story where the twins, they're trying to get money together for, starting up their own business, own joke shop. You saw them in Prisoner of Azkaban experimenting with different candies and things.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing going forward in the next movie. But they're trying to get some money. Well, they make a side bet with Cornelius Fudge, the Minister of Magic. They bet him some galleons on the game. And I think what their bet was that Crumb would catch the snitch, but the Irish would win the cup. Which is like weird because when you catch the snitch, you get 300 points. You're pretty much guaranteed to win a game. Well, what happens is the Irish are kicking their butt so bad that Crumb finally just catches the snitch to end the game just to save face. Well, they won the bet, and Cornelius Fudge is ducking and dodging them throughout the entire book because he paid them with leprechaun gold, which is like fool's gold. It disappears after like a day or so. It's enchanted. It's not real gold. Which also ties back into what we talked about when Harry gets the gold from the Triwizard Tournament. He gives it to the twins. I really wish they'd have left that in, showing them getting on the train and it's like, here's the gold. But, there you have it.
Because he had a bunch of it already in the bank.
Which was first, your ramping hand or Harry Potter? Potter. Oh man. Oh man, Matt C. That was a good inside joke, Matt C. Okay, life is great. We'll get to that question here in just a second. Fred and George's bet was with Ludo Bagman, not Fudge. Who is Ludo Bagman again in the books? Wasn't he like something to do with Quidditch? Everything else you said there was right.
Like I know.
Yeah. Come on, Ludo Bagman. Yeah, I want to say Fudge. There's so many people who were just left out. So if Matt sees one of the patrons on Patreon, and there's a video where I do some sleight of hand, and Matt kind of figured it out. And there's a hand I was using to do some sleight of hand, and it's called a ramping hand. And he asked if the ramping hand came first or if it was Harry Potter. I can say that the ramping hand definitely came first. I was doing close-up magic way before Harry Potter existed. All right, so Crumb and Harry find Crouch Sr. talking madness to a tree. Harry goes to find Dumbledore, and then he's gone. I hate how they did this in the movie with Harry just finding Crouch. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so Barty Crouch is off wandering in the woods, all talking madness to a tree and like acting stupid nuts. Because if I'm not mistaken, his son was Imperious cursing him from under an invisibility cloak. All right, so who are your favorite characters so far? Life is Great wants to know. Jason.
I'm gonna still have to go with Ron.
Ron, you like the ginger?
That's so wrong.
So wrong. You like Ron?
I like Ron. I like I like the way that his character is being portrayed.
Okay. Who is your least favorite character thus far?
Least favorite. That's a good question because, like, I think that so far, like the way that they cast the characters, I mean, I think that the casting has been very good. Least favorite. That's a good question. I'm gonna have to think about that one.
Okay, Cackleon says Ludo Bagman was a ministry employee, head of the Department of Magical Games and Sports. Thank you. I just found my Harry Potter buddy.
There you go.
Mr. Griffin.
Mr. Griffin.
Yep. Mark Hamill turned 70 today.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And I had seen that earlier.
Dude.
Happy birthday to Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
So Mr. Joker himself.
I can always count on Supreme Leader Mark McKeever to give me all the entertainment news.
Totally sidestep
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker.
Luke Skywalker. It's all Luke Skywalker. Yeah. All right. Your favorite character so far?
Excuse me.
Is it still Snape, or you moved on from there?
Oh man, I like Snape. I like Ron. I like Ron for his comedic presence, his facial expressions, his comedic timing. I love that. I love Snape because he's a bad dude. He's just all around awesome.
That's Alan Rickman. How do you not?
Yeah.
I got a question for you about Snape.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I found it funny in the movie, but there were some people that really just did not like the portrayal of Snape in Goblet of Fire because they used Snape really more for comedic relief. Like, the whole tucking my sleeves and shoving the kids' heads around. And they're like, that's really not Snape's character to me.
I think they did that because of Ron, because previously Ron had always been that comedic presence. And since Ron is going through his own
teenage angst,
yes, they needed somebody with comedic in the movie, so they gave it to Snape.
Okay.
That's my theory.
Hey, it holds water for me. All right, King's in the chat. Welcome to the chat, King. King says, I watched the movies 1,000 times before reading the book, so it was cool when I finally read them, which makes sense because then reading them added information that he didn't have before.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. So you might be, if you get around to, because I know you plan on doing the audiobooks, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised.
So I'm almost done with Sorcerer's Stone.
Okay. You digging it, audiobook? I
am. Like, I will say this, like in the way that I've watched the Sorcerer's Stone twice now. And after listening to the book, like you have to give, mad props to Neville in the book versus the way that he was portrayed in the movie.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he like the whole, when they're, the Quidditch game, when he just starts, jumping on top and just, throwing punches. I mean, yeah, the kid they've got playing Neville doesn't seem like he would do that at all.
Yeah, it's Neville as David Yates gets, to directing these movies here in a bit, and he does. I got to say, David Yates does justice to the characters. He does. So, oh goodness, ridiculous. Ed Tollett is in the chat. He just got home from work. Noticed that we were streaming, and he says, "Y'all have not met my favorite character yet. Next movie, only Ravenclaw with a good amount of screen time." Yes, this is true. Ridiculous. I know who your character is. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. That's a good one. So y'all don't know yet.
Of course not.
Any guesses as to who my favorite character is this far?
I think you've already told him who your favorite character is so far. Do you guys know who his favorite character is so far?
Yeah. Is anybody going to get that? Oh, Variation already knows who he's talking about also. Says that's so true. Any guesses before I spill the beans on my favorite character? I mean, y'all should know this one. I'm going to give it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Negative. Mita, you were so close. No, Life is Great. Matt C says the Crow. Yes, the Crow. The Crow is my favorite character so far.
I mean, look at the shirt.
Yeah. No, my favorite character is actually Voldemort. And maybe not even for the reason most people think. Everyone's like always Patrick's into the villains. It's Darth Vader. It's Thanos. It's Voldemort. Now, I like Voldemort because so often in movies, what we get is this deconstructionist view of villains where they want to try to make us love the villain, and the villain's just misunderstood. It's just a misunderstood villain. It's just a victim of circumstance. And you remember in Chamber of Secrets, Harry noticed that, he speaks Parselmouth just like Voldemort does. And, Dumbledore tells him he transfers some of his power to you. You all have very similar backgrounds. I mean, you're going to, you saw that, when in the flashbacks, and you'll see that later on that, Tom Riddle was an orphan. Harry was an orphan. And he said, what sets y'all apart isn't your abilities, but your choices. And the reason I like Voldemort as a character is because his choices have, yes, made him the most powerful dark wizard of all time, but his choices have pretty much condemned him. I mean, you're free to hate and dislike this villain. You're free to feel that there's nothing redeemable about him. You're free to just be like, this guy needs to be taken down. He is the antithesis of Harry Potter. And nothing to me is more visually cueing on that kind of a thought than in the graveyard when their wands are locked. And it's just this epic going back and forth of these mirror images of people with very similar power, similar backgrounds, but different choices. And to me, he's almost a perfect villain, second only to the Dark Lord himself, Lord Vader. So ridiculous. Ed Tully says Sirius or Lupin, Voldemort. Mita got it. Voldemort. There we go. But yeah, Sirius is one of my favorites. Voldemort, obviously my favorite. Hermione is iconic, says Saulo Cassiano. Hermione is iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can appreciate her.
You watch the movies and it's like they almost can't do anything without Hermione.
Oh, no. No, not at all.
Harry's bumbling around with the dragon. Okay. And she's like, here's your wand. That did not happen in the book, by the way. And we did discuss that. Harry won the dragon challenge in like 10 seconds. But yeah, Hermione, even Sirius Black says it. She's the brightest witch of her age. So there isn't a question that popped up. Voldemort's a cycle from childhood to adult, and I never feel sorry for him, but he's still a cool character. Yes, Mita, agree with you. And Saulo says that Hermione will shine in the latest movies, and that's true.
Also, didn't you say at one point that one of the reasons why you like Voldemort so much is because typically with a bad guy they try to show some sort of like redemption, and with him there is no redemption.
No, and you will definitely see that in the last movie. Patrick McCabe says it's fun being halfway through, knowing how each one ramps up next, and that there's no misses in the series. And then we got a Kaylin Page 22. What do you wish they had left in Goblet of Fire? Kaylin says, I wish they would have left how Barty Crouch broke his son out of Azkaban by his wife switching places and they left out Winky. Yes, we're going to get back to that. So, we find out Barty Crouch Jr. escaped from Azkaban because, Snape tells him while he's holding the wand in his cheek. He's like, the Dementors have been missing you. He's like, just give me a reason. And Dumbledore's like, I'm sure the Dementors are going to welcome you back to Azkaban, So he broke out, not just Sirius. But the way he did it is because the Dementors sense life. They basically they went to visit him at Azkaban, Barty Crouch Sr. and his wife, Barty Crouch Jr.'s mom. And she was dying. She was sick. And she switched places with her son. And died in Azkaban. So the Dementors thought that Barty Crouch Jr. was dead, and his dad broke him out of prison. This head ministry official, because at the end of the day, and that is something I understand and I get, that's his son. And he tries to keep him hidden. He tries to keep him under control. He's actually got him at the Quidditch World Cup, hidden under an invisibility cloak. But in the end, that compassion cost everybody all this nonsense. But there was a question. Yeah, I think Kaylin, I think that I wish they'd left it. No, I'll tell you what I wish they'd left in, and y'all wouldn't know this because you haven't read the books. The maze. That was the one thing I was looking forward most to seeing was the maze. Giant spiders, the Sphinx. I really was wanting to see Harry meet the Sphinx because it's the first time you see him solve like an intelligent riddle without the help of Hermione. He's really got to stand on his own. He's by himself in that maze. And every other time, Harry is succeeding because of the help of Hermione and Ron. They're very much a trio. I like seeing Harry shine in the maze, and we did not get that. We got a bunch of CGI bushes like. All right, but where was the? Andy asked, "What is a change from the books to the movies that was good?" In Goblet of Fire?
I think he's asking just in any of them.
Well, in Goblet of Fire, the graveyard scene to me was perfecto. Like if you read the book and you watch the graveyard scene, nailed it. Here's an interesting thing for you. Before Goblet of Fire came out, I was looking at who was going to play Voldemort. When I went into the cast list back when Goblet of Fire was hitting theaters, it said Ralph Fiennes. And I had just finished watching Red Dragon, the prequel to Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs, starring Ralph Fiennes, who thinks he's, the Red Dragon, who thinks he's a psycho serial killer. So that was my first exposure to Ralph Fiennes. And I'm like, oh my goodness, they got this guy playing Voldemort. So to me, it totally worked. But I think I'm going to save that question for what they changed and brought to the movies I like better until later, because there's a change in the very last movie that they did that I actually appreciated more than what happened in the books. So we'll save that one. Oh, hang on. Joyful Spirits in the house. There we go. Congratulations. Go Team Hufflepuff. I see another Hufflepuff.
There's a lot of Hufflepuffs.
There's just a Hufflepuff and a blow your house down. Cackleon, odd opinion, but Peter Pettigrew is up there for one of my favorite characters, Wormtail. The whole dynamic of the Marauders map is very interesting, and learning more about them is fun. Yes, very much so. And we're going to discuss Peter Pettigrew again much later in later movies.
Okay.
Wormtail.
Oh, Dobby and Winky. They are so important. But I think you asked about Dobby, if Dobby was going to be back. Dobby will be back.
Okay.
Let's see. The maze was the biggest thing that should have been included. Team Hufflepuff and Pat McCabe. Is there any Slytherin love out there?
I haven't seen any.
I haven't seen any either. People just hating on Slytherin.
Yeah, you're just too cool.
I will have you know that the greatest wizard of all time was a Slytherin. Merlin.
That's what I hear.
Randy says, I'm team I don't know what one I am. Well, there'll come a point in your life where you'll just be compelled to log into the Wizarding World and take that test, and you'll get sorted.
If we did it, you can do it too.
Life is great says, I'm so happy how many Hufflepuffs are in this chat. Yeah. Oh, somebody else pointed out too. They said, how is it that the Hufflepuff, that they liked seeing you, that you got the cool Patronus, like you ended up with a rare Patronus? Because there are some rare Patronuses and super rare Patronuses, and you got a rare one with the hyena. And someone's like, how'd you luck out and get the rare Patronus? And you lucked out and got the one good jelly bean when we had to gag on like rotten eggs.
Rotten egg and earwax.
Yeah.
And that was just my night.
Yeah. Pure of heart Hufflepuff. That's what it was. It just paid off. So somebody pointed out to me, they said, because we got the Bloodhound, we got the mouse, the vole, and we got the hyena. They said that it was Goofy, Bonsai, and Mickey Mouse. And to my shame, it took me about 5 minutes to understand the reference to bonsai, because I was like, what, Mr. Miyagi and bonsai trees? And they're talking about the hyenas from the Lion King. There we go. There we go. I see that chat just moving over there on the thing, and it's scaring me.
It's scaring you?
Mark McKeever says he's Team Spuds McKenzie. Oh, I remember that dog.
Me too. Yes, Spuds McKenzie.
Didn't he kind of get downgraded and like go to like being like the RCA dog?
Oh man, he went away pretty quickly when they said, "Oh, you can't have cute, cuddly mascots for beer companies."
Variation IC says, I still cannot accept Dumbledore's aggression in this movie. Like, I was rolling my eyes when he was trying to pull Harry off Cedric's body so forcefully. So now, understand, I respect everyone's opinion. People can like things I don't like, and they cannot like things I do like. And this is not, I'm not even going to mention this person's name, but somebody had dropped a comment earlier tonight that was rather upset that so many of us thought that this was a horrible adaptation of the book, that she thought this was a very accurate adaptation. And I'm just like, I think visually it was a pleasing film, but I don't see how you can even call it an adaptation when you completely change the story. That defeats the definition of adaptation. And what Variation is talking about here is exactly what I feel. Taking a scene where Dumbledore calmly asked Harry about putting his name in the cup while everybody else is freaking out. That's a key moment of building a relationship of trust between Harry and Dumbledore, which comes into play later. And to say that you adapted that by making Dumbledore slam him into a wall and start interrogating him and screaming at him, that's not an adaptation. That's a complete change in the story.
Run through the door, grab him. Did you put your name in the cup?
That's a change of character.
Yeah. I mean, he was acting more like a Hufflepuff there. I got to be careful. There's so many Hufflepuffs in this chat.
You better
They're going to come out and start beaning me.
Oh, man, you just lost 10 subscribers right there.
Oh, my goodness. Who is Spuds McKenzie? Random Andy? Whoa.
No, I can get that. I can understand why somebody wouldn't get it.
Random
if
Andy's
you didn't grow up in the
younger.
80s, then yeah, it's long gone.
Yes. Mita says, I wish Fred and George's business was in the movie. Absolutely. They should have left the whole thing with the money at the end. Greets from Germany. Merrick D says, hey, greets from Germany. What's the time in the U.S. right now?
It's 9:30.
It's 9:30.
9:30 p.m. on the dot. What time is it in Germany?
Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? He asked calmly. April A says, yeah, exactly. Wait, this movie. And Harry giving the twins a try. Yeah, exactly, Mita. Yeah, Harry giving the twins Triwizard money. So, yeah, we've actually, believe it or not, we got quite a few subscribers from Germany. I get little messages all the time saying hi from the Bundesrepublik Deutschland, like a whole lot. I mean, it's been a long time since we were in that class.
Yeah, it's been like almost 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah, we were in German class together in high school. You remember CJ? We had a guy in German class in high school, and I don't know how he made it through to the third year of German class.
I don't either.
Because he could only say a few things.
And they were all the bad words.
Well, other than the bad words. But he would say ja for yes, nein for no, and then ich heiße Sayo, which is my name is CJ. And I remember one of his last classes when they didn't let him go on to his fourth year of German. Frau Walker, she looked at him and she asked him a question. And she said, like, schneit es draußen? Like, is it snowing outside? And he looks at her and goes, ich heiße Sayo. And she's like, no, like she even tried giving him a yes or no question, and he totally blew it.
Had to do that for our verbal, our oral quiz.
Yeah. Twins getting screwed out of their bet winnings. Yeah, the Quidditch World Cup with Ludo Bagman. Yeah. Yeah, variation. The Quidditch World Cup was so fun in the book. There was a whole lot there, like the Death Eaters coming in. And in the book, what you're in the movie, what you didn't see, when the Death Eaters come on the scene, they actually have like muggles that they're torturing, like hanging in the air, and they're making sport of them and making fun of them, and they like pass them around in the air using magic and all kinds. Yeah, they're just nasty hooligans, man. It's horrible.
Well, my wife read that book before we watched the movie Goblet of Fire.
What did she think of the movie?
She was like, not really. She didn't really care for the movie at all. Because again,
your wife gets 10 cool points.
Yeah, she reads my wife is a speed reader. She can sit down with one of these Harry Potter books and read it in a night. And but she was, when the movie started with them, and they're at the haunted mansion, and she goes, really? This is where they're starting the movie at? And I was like, what are you talking about? She goes, there is so much that happens before this. And I'm like, I don't know. I haven't read it. She's like, yeah. She's like, there is so much. She's like, this is an odd place to start the movie. And I'm like,
yeah, because you were like, I thought Harry starts every movie at his aunt and uncle's. Exactly. And I was like, well, he does, but there's a whole lot of time compression here. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Griffin can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but in the beginning of this book, they've got some old brooms and they're playing like makeshift Quidditch in the Weasley's yard before they go on the Quidditch World Cup. Like you get to see them all just kind of playing and being kids and having fun.
Cool.
Yeah. April A is in the UK, the United Kingdom. See, we need to have her orating on this for us in that cool British accent.
Yep.
The kitchen is my favorite place in the book. Yes. Mita. Good call out, Mita. She says the kitchen in the Weasleys, or wait, the kitchen. Are you talking about the Weasleys' kitchen, or are you talking about the kitchen in the castle with all the house elves? Either way, they're both cool scenes. So
I thought maybe she's talking about the kitchen and the humongous tent.
Oh golly, yeah. You called that one out. That was crack. I was trying to keep a straight face. John's like, hey, you watch that tent be like huge as a castle when they get inside of there, and I'm just like, so
she says
Hogwarts, yeah, the kitchen in Hogwarts. Like, you know how the food all magically appears on the tables?
Oh yeah,
that's house elves. Yeah, you know how the castle is always magically clean?
Mm-hmm.
That's house elves.
Mm.
Well, why didn't house elves stop the fat lady from being moved or tortured and moved out of the picture?
That's a good question, man. They left out a lot of scenes of them just being kids, which I get because the movies can't be 10 years long, but it's sad to miss out on stuff. Tickle the pear. Yeah, tickle the pear. Oh, God, tickle the pear. Oh, Mark McKeever. Okay, so he said, Patrick, what initially drew you to the books? Okay. So I talked about this at the beginning of the Harry Potter movie when we were talking about what got me into Harry Potter. What got me into Harry Potter was I went to see Star Wars Attack of the Clones. No. I went to see Harry Potter 1 because they were premiering the trailer for Star Wars Attack of the Clones in front of that. And I paid $12 for a movie ticket for something I'd never heard of just so I could go watch the Star Wars preview. And then because I paid $12 for this, I was like, yeah, I'll stick around, see if it's any good. And I kept doing that. I'll stick around until the credits came up. I'm like, this was amazing. I'm going to go read the books now. So that's how I got in the books.
John, if you would you have paid $12 to go see the first Harry Potter movie?
No, I would not have.
Would
you have thought this is amazing?
Yes, Kaylin, we did already tackle SPEW, SPEW, Society for Protection of Elvish Welfare. We have already talked about that. Peeves. Oh, ridiculous. Ed told it. Peeves. The ghost have such an important role in a movie. Peeves, the poltergeist.
Yeah, Peeves is all in the first book.
Yeah. Peeves is like they've got Moaning Myrtle, in the bathtub with Harry.
That was an awkward scene.
That was. Oh, and you ought to read the interview that they did with Daniel Radcliffe about that, because the actress playing Moaning Myrtle was like 30 years old.
What?
Yeah. She's older, and
she looks like Wendy from the Wonder Years.
She looks like Harry Potter with long hair.
She does, yes.
But yeah, they said it was a rather awkward scene to film. But no, Peeves the Poltergeist is just He is horrible.
In the first books, like the first time they really see him, like when they're going up to their rooms, like he's throwing like walking sticks at them.
Yeah.
Like he's invisible and throwing walking sticks at them.
Yeah.
So
and McGonagall actually sicks him on one of a character that McGonagall doesn't like later on, but we never see that. Peeves was very important to the books. The castle feels so quiet without Peeves. It is. Hogwarts kitchen made me want to be a Hufflepuff because they're next door to each other. Never read the book. Saw every movie in the theater. Patrick McCabe, read the books, man. They're awesome. Goes through different. Yeah, this is true. Ridiculous Ed told it has corrected me. I have been so wrong lately. Peeves is a ghost, not a poltergeist.
the Bloody Baron.
Bloody Baron. Yeah, he's very important. And Peeves is the embodiment of all of the children's rambunctious tendencies.
Okay.
We're going to write a thesis on that. Oh, he is a poltergeist. Dadgummit. See,
I was going to say,
I'm out. I got nothing.
Isn't.
So, John, what did you think of them, like nobody having wands except the main, not even all the main characters in this last movie? You never see Hermione with a wand, never see Ron with a wand, the students.
I didn't really think of that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. You see some of the teachers.
Like Moody when he's turned Malfoy into.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was one of the other things you miss in the books. It's like if it makes sense as you're reading that Mad-Eye Moody would be, cracking on Malfoy that way. But then you go back and you think, why the heck would he have done that if he was a bad guy the whole time? Wouldn't he have been on Malfoy's side? And no, he's just Barty Crouch Jr.'s cracked in the head. He's got this thing about people attacking people. It's like face your enemy. Don't wait till their back's turned. But the graveyard scene. What about that one?
Yeah, you're talking about at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
Was it enough to redeem the movie for you at all?
It was enough to keep me interested in moving forward.
Okay.
But as far as redeeming that particular movie, no.
Well, before we get ready to wrap this up with everybody, I'm going to bring up a little mental exercise about where we're going forward and why this is so important. Because at the end, you remember what Dumbledore said about Cedric's death in the Ministry of Magic? You saw Barty Crouch like, oh, move the body. There's too many people. And he's like, the Ministry doesn't want you to know the truth that Cedric Diggory was killed by Lord Voldemort. So at this point in the story, hang on a second. My theory is that nobody likes the Malfoys. They're just rich. Junior probably been waiting for a reason to. There we go. But yeah, Andy watches a billion movies a year. Hope Disney buys the rights for Harry Potter and produces some series or sequels. That would be great. But anyway, what the heck was I going on about? I lost my train of thought. Obliviate.
Talking about Voldemort killing Cedric.
Oh, yeah. So at this point, who has seen Voldemort return? Because as soon as Harry gets back and he's got Cedric's dead body, he's like, he's back. Voldemort's back. He's telling everyone Voldemort's back. So everyone at this point has heard it and knows it. But who has seen Voldemort return?
Only Harry at this point.
Only Harry.
Only Harry.
Anybody else? Other than the bad guys?
Not that I can think of.
All right.
Because technically, even Cedric didn't see him come back.
Without giving too much away about the next story, I wish I could remember who to attribute this quote to. It says, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he didn't exist.
Wasn't that a line from Usual Suspects?
There was a line from a lot of different movies. Exit Wounds, Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
It was in that one too. But point being is Voldemort's going to use that to his advantage. Ministry doesn't want people to know Voldemort's back. That's the tone of going into Order of Phoenix. Okay. And the only one who's willing to tell the truth about all this is Dumbledore and Harry. and we're going to see a lot of political ramifications thereof. So I can't say much more without spoiling it. Patrick McCabe, you're off by about 90. Okay. Yeah, there's a chapter in the book where Dumbledore and the Minister split ways. Joyful Spirit, I missed a quote. Will you guys be able to go visit the Wizarding World of Harry Potter? That is a plan, but before we spend money on going down to see the Wizarding World, I think we're all going to spend money on matching Death Eater tattoos.
I'm getting mine on my face.
Right there. Yeah. We'll have, you see, you think I'm kidding. You'll see. We'll have some Death Eater tattoos.
I'm going to get 2 of them.
Yeah. I mean, I got Darth Vader tattooed on this arm right there. We're,
he's already committed.
I'm already committed. I got no shame. Oh my goodness. Is Chief Supreme in the chat? Chief Supreme. Chief.
He said he can't stay long.
Chief Supreme. Hey, give me a shout out for Slytherin, Chief, please. No one has shouted out any Slytherins. It's been like Hufflepuff City up in this place.
And Ravenclaw.
Yeah. It's Hufflepuff. But Chief Supreme, he's Mrs. Weasley meeting Sirius for the first time. Oh, yes. Man, golly. Mita, we're going to get a hold of J.K. Rowling, and we're going to have you redirect like the reboot of this thing. Because we just need to throw that one out. For me, Goblet of Fire is like the last Jedi of Harry Potter. It just, nope.
That explains a lot.
So going back to the reason I decided to go live tonight wasn't just so we could share the chat, but also, the thank you for the 2,000 subscribers. It's been a journey. It has. When we started this thing with Star Wars, we didn't think it was going to go anywhere. We were committed to doing it.
Yeah, we're like, let's have some fun. Let's see what happens.
And I had a goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers in 1 year. It took 11 months. Now, it was a lot of grinding and a lot of hard work, but it's really because of y'all tuning in and making this fun, interacting with us. But what we did in 11 months, we did this time in about, because we hit, I want to say it was June, July. I would say in about 3.5 months, we've already gained another 1,000. And so credit to the subject of Harry Potter, credit to the subject of, Star Wars, credit to, y'all for hanging out, watching movies with me. And I can't thank y'all enough for making this happen. That's the only reason we're still doing this is because of y'all. Believe me, he didn't want to watch Harry Potter. I
really didn't. I did not.
But you didn't want to watch Star Wars either.
No, I did not.
Yeah. And now you own.
I own a lightsaber.
And 2 wands.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
2 wands.
Life is great says, listen, sorry, but you're going to have to learn to accept the fact that us Hufflepuffs are taking over. I can live with it.
I'm down with that.
Oh my goodness. April A says she lives near the city where they filmed Diagon Alley, major tourist attraction.
Wow.
What do you say? Diagonally?
Diagon Alley. Yeah. Oh, Mita, did you talk about Rita Skeeter? Don't read the chat. I think I can be wrong, but I think the thing about Rita Skeeter comes out in the next one, but I'm not sure. But no, I have not forgot about Rita Skeeter. Team Gryffindor from Sallow. Let's see. Congrats. Credit. Oh, Ice Knight 81 just dropped in the chat. Said credit yourselves for being entertaining and engaging. Speaking of engaging, I'm going to apologize and not apologize. So there's been a couple comments. I try not to feed into negativity and focus on the negative at all. I just like to focus on the positive. If this ever becomes not fun for us, we've already agreed we're going to quit. But we're having fun.
Mm-hmm.
But evidently, when I'm sitting over here and you guys are watching Harry Potter and I know something cool's about to happen, I have this because I've seen the movies. I know what's going to happen. I want to see y'all see the movie. So I keep doing this thing like, man, what's going to happen? And evidently there's some people that get upset with me looking at y'all instead of, I can't help it. I'm going to do it. I am.
Well, you want to see our reaction live.
Yeah. Yeah. Which,
I don't. Why are they getting upset with what you're doing?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But I can't help it. I've got to,
I never see you do it because
Yeah.
I'm watching what's going on the screen.
So moment of honesty. Have I ever prompted you to react to anything?
No.
Have I ever suggested that you should watch something or react to something while we're watching a movie?
No.
Yeah. What you guys see is it's raw, it's real.
Oh yeah.
We're not faking nothing. This is us. This is what it is. We've been friends for over a quarter of a century. It's 26 years we've been hanging out. I know these guys.
Dude, this guy has way too much integrity to start faking stuff. And so what you see is us reacting to what we're watching for the first time.
Yeah. I don't want to. Oh, we got a super chat we got to say hi to. Oh, this is a new guy. So Toodleskay, I am going to talk to you about Rita Skeeter here in just a second. But Toodleskay talks about Rita, so does Mita. Random Andy, I don't know who this guy is, but he dropped his $5 super chat. So I got to say thank you to Random Andy. That was kind of random. No, I know who you are.
I was going to say, we know Random Andy.
Yeah. He says, just showing some extra appreciation and love, buddy. Congrats on 2K. Road to 3K begins. Proud of you, brother.
Thanks, Andy.
So April A says, don't apologize. We would all do the same thing. The energy you guys bring is the reason we keep coming back. Thank you. We hope you do. Mita, if Goblet of Fire books. Yeah. So Rita Skeeter. There's a lot of articles that Rita Skeeter keeps putting out. And in the book, Rita wasn't in the tent when Hermione hugs Harry.
Okay.
But all these things keep coming out, and it's like Hermione's getting really ticked off about these stories, and Harry's just kind of used to the bad press. He's like, whatever, I'm famous. But Hermione's getting ticked off. Well, what she finds out is that Rita Skeeter is an unregistered animagus. She's a little beetle. So what she does is she'll fly and land on your shoulder and watch what's going on. Well, Hermione captures her, keeps her in a jar, doesn't tell anybody anything. Wow. And she ends up making Rita Skeeter tell the truth. Like you want to be free and not be stuck as a little bug because she got her in a jar. What are you going to do? Turn into a human in a jar? You want to be free? You're going to start, reporting on some truth. Hermione is a bad A when it comes to Rita Skeeter.
Is this in the movie?
No. Straight books.
Oh, man, that should be in the movie.
Totally should have been in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That sounds amazing.
TPNG says, love the friendship you guys share. Yeah. And the Dr. Pepper. Mark McKeever. Yeah. Solid says, I think it's awesome you trying to react to them. I'm trying not to react to them. But yeah, it's a double reaction. You guys reacting to Harry Potter and me reacting to y'all.
Yeah.
And it's fun for me to go back and edit while I'm watching these guys because sometimes like, oh my goodness. Oh, look at them cracking up. Oh my goodness. The epitome of what I give to be a fly in the wall of that conversation. No one even mentions the man, Ludo Bagman. We earlier, I messed that up. I talked about the Twins losing a bet or winning the bet, but I said it was Cornelius, and Toodleskay Variation pointed out that it was Ludo Bagman. Yeah, April A. Okay, thank you, April. Very good compliment here. She says it's one of the few channels that she's seen actually try to understand the series and become invested and not fake interest. So yeah, I don't want you guys to. One of the things from watching my inspiration, Holden Hardman, a lot of guys would crack on Holden about is quit hyping up these movies for Matt because when you hype him up, he gets disappointed, he doesn't like them. Well, it's a different dynamic with these guys. I've been friends with them a lot longer. I kind of know what I think they'll like and not. That's why I've been 20-something years now trying to get you guys to watch Star Wars and Harry Potter, and it's paid off, right? So
has it?
It has. You're Star Wars fans. And you will soon be Harry Potter fans. I mean, you guys were bought in after Prisoner of Azkaban. You were like, man, I'm there. You'll be bought in again.
I was almost like bought in after Chamber of Secrets and then Prisoner of Azkaban. I was like, okay, that's yeah.
But it's there's such good characters in this series that you can identify with, or you can hate, or you can love. So many dynamics, and everybody's flawed. Like no one's got it all together.
Yeah.
I think the only one that's really almost got it all together is Hermione. As the movies go on, you're going to see it. She's pretty much got it together.
Somebody has to.
Oh, Mark McKeever asked so is there anything else besides Dr. Pepper? No, just Dr. Pepper.
Cherry vanilla Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
No, I do like the cream soda Dr. Pepper. It's
Yeah,
good.
I don't. Just Dr. Pepper. I think he might be hinting at maybe something a little bit stronger.
No,
No.
I don't drink at all.
Yeah. Our wives like to go do the wine thing.
Oh man, our wives freaking love some wine tasting. Oh my gosh.
I can't edit that out. Like that's out there now.
Oh, I know. And my wife, she'll be the first to tell you, oh, I love wine drinking. She's she doesn't get drunk. She's never been drunk her in life, but she loves having a glass of wine. Yeah. And she'll go have a glass of wine with friends, and she stinking loves it. And I'm like, I don't see the appeal. Personally, my dad growing up, he was an alcoholic. So that completely turned me away from drinking of any kind. So I've
these
never
guys,
touched it.
We won't get too heavy and deep tonight, but both of these guys, part of our years of friendship, these guys never gave up on me. You guys remember, I was an alcoholic. But this Christmas will have been 16. This Christmas is 15 years. 15 years sober. 15 years sober, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
awesome.
That's why it's just the Dr. Pepper guys.
Yeah.
We do not have a problem with people that drink. I'm cool with it. I can be around people that do it. Doesn't bug me. 10 years ago, it might have bugged me, but it doesn't. I mean, it's all good.
Yeah. That's kind of the same way with me. I kind of turned my nose up to it and that, but now I see that people can do that and enjoy it, and it cannot be a problem, and that's perfectly okay.
Oh man, Amar Shaken, is it Amar Shaken Amar? Says something you bring up from Prisoner of Azkaban. You remember the cat, Crookshanks, that ugly orange cat that Hermione had, and Ron's like, "Your cat killed my rat."
Oh, yeah.
The cat was working with Sirius Black. The cat was trying to take out Peter Pettigrew.
Oh, is that in the book?
Yes.
Oh, once again, something in the book that should have been in the movie.
Yes.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
There's 25 people in the chat.
Dude, 25. Dude.
Remember our first live? When we went live and we were so excited to get like 5 people.
So you got like what, 8 people in it?
Yeah, 8 people. So we were so excited. We were like,
yeah. It was like Marvin Caver, Ice 981, and
yeah.
Hey, my dad's in the chat.
Yeah.
Hey, my wife's in the chat. We got 4 people. Oh man!
Thank you guys for joining us tonight. You guys are awesome.
Yeah. It's I'm going through these comments. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's been about an hour. We've already got my kids in bed. This was impromptu because I was at work. I just finished coming off a 65-hour work week, and he just finished coming off a job in Alabama. He just finished finding out that he gets to work from home. You turd.
Yeah, as of Monday, I'll be working remotely, 100% of the time. So I'm looking forward to it.
But when we finish doing this, I haven't forgotten about the Patreon giveaway with the Lord Voldemort one that I've got. That will be going to one of my now 12 patrons, actually one of 10, because 2 of my patrons are these guys. So I don't enter them in any of the drawings. That'd be unethical. We're not going to do that. But you can't have my toys anyway. They got lightsabers, so they're good. But you guys rock. Thank you. Shouting out to everybody here. My friendlies loud Harry Potter. Really quick, don't forget Mark McKeever asked if we're going to put Harry Potter on hold for some Halloween videos. We're not going to put it on hold, but yes, there will be some Halloween videos. I found out I've got a friend that has not seen The Crow. That's going to be happening.
That's a good one.
Toodles Gay, haven't been a member long. Please say you've all seen or read Lord of the Rings.
Yes. Also, isn't later in October, isn't there like a new Star Wars Lego Halloween thing coming up?
Yeah, there's a Halloween Lego.
What?
Read that comment from Joyful Spirit. I'm sorry, Joyful Spirit. Oh, next video.
My friend reads aloud Harry Potter.
Oh,
no.
Hey, all right,
Nobody wants to watch.
I'm about to wrap it up and turn it off, and I'm going to end with this quick story. So, somebody in my past, my ex-wife, I've been married previously, but my ex-wife wanted to read the Harry Potter books, and she didn't want to read them though, and wanted me to read them to her, but she made me do the voices. So I was reading it like Hagrid. I've got something for you, Harry. You're a wizard, Harry. And I'm trying to do the voices. And I think it was this guy come over to visit and had been standing there for about 5 minutes watching me sit on the couch, read Harry Potter aloud to an adult. So, hey, man, John, we were at Private Drive with the Dursleys, and Dumbledore comes with the Deluminator. And yeah, I'm going to.
Speaking of that real quick, in the book, you find out when Hagrid comes to Private Drive, he's riding a motorcycle. The night that the Potters die, it's Sirius Black's motorcycle.
Oh, he stole his motorcycle.
No, he borrowed it.
Borrowed it.
Okay.
All right. So April A, Amar, Kaylin, Variation, Toodleskay, Cackleon, Random Andy, Life is Great, Mark McKeever, Patrick McCabe, Joyful Spirit, Ice Knight, Mita, Random Andy. I got Michelle. Hey, South Australia, Land Down Under. There's so many people here. All my patrons on Patreon. Salo, Casino, Cackleon, Clear Pitch. Oh,
Random Andy.
Yeah, Random Andy. And Random Andy, thanks for the super chat. But y'all are awesome. Thank you. We will be seeing you again soon for Order of the Phoenix. And
Andy,
what did Andy do? Have a great rest of what did Andy do? Set up a camera with John laying in bed and have it be like a bedtime story. Oh my goodness.
Read it with the voices, Daddy.
We got to cut this thing off, man. Love you guys. Stay nerdy with it. We'll see you next time. You got your